Okay. Joining me now, President Trump's Deputy Assistant, Dr. Sebasttian Gorka. Good evening, Doctor.
Good evening, and let me just take my blood pressure medicine. That was quite an intro. Thank you.
Thank you for what you're doing. You've had quite a week, Dr. Gorka. You and the mainstream media have kind of been going at it, yes?
We had some fun. We had some fun this week. We've got a great team. We've got Sarah Huckabee Sanders, Sean Spicer, and Kellyanne. But I'm glad to support them, and it was fun this week.
Well, what I liked most was when you told, who was it, CNN, that Nick at Night beats them in the ratings?
Yeah. They're at position 13 nationally, CNN 13. Fox, of course, is number 1. And Nick at Night, so comedy reruns and kid shows, are at number 11. That's the crisis of credibility in the fake news industrial complex, Judge.
Well, you know, it's got to be frustrating for you. I mean, you know, the president is a man who works 20 out of 24 hours a day. You guys, I'm sure, haven't had sleep since he got in there. It's got to be frustrating that you can't get out to the American people what actually they are doing and you are doing to help us out because of this meddling by the mainstream media.
I see it a little bit differently, Judge, because, you know, we live inside the Acela corridor, so we're inside this bubble. But if you get out of the bubble, the mainstream, you know, the America that elected the president to be the commander-in-chief, they know exactly what they're doing, and they couldn't care less. This Russia collusion delusion is irrelevant. People see the jobs coming back. They see the price of gas. They see the fact that this week, we destroyed the caliphate. That should be the news. Look at what CNN's doing. CNN, the rest of the mainstream media, it's Russia, Russia, Russia. They talk more about Russia than America. It's like Pravda from the Cold War. You remember Pravda?
Yes.
They talk more about Russia than America, and they've lost credibility. And that's why the president's Twitter feed is so important, because he just jumps right over them, and he tells the American people, we are making America great again, Judge.
And you know what's interesting is that there is no fear or concern on the part of this president in working with Putin. It's almost as though he can let all this cacophony, this noise around him, he can kind of go like this and brush it off his shoulder and do business. And it seems that if we can work with Putin to fight ISIS, we're doing it.
Look, the president is a patriot and a pragmatist. He looks at relations with Moscow with a steely eye. I myself, my father was arrested and tortured and imprisoned by communists, so there's no love lost for me when it comes to the Kremlin. But hang on, this is, along with America, we are the 2 most powerful nuclear nations in the world. We both face terrorism, and we are going to need, or we would like to have, some kind of cooperation with Russia on key issues like Syria, like ISIS. And if people think that's a bad idea, then they don't understand how the world works.
And, you know, one of the things, Doctor, that I didn't say in my open is that, you know, this Iran, the nuclear deal that Obama did, and $150 billion and then $400 million on, you know, on pallets and unmarked planes, they're yelling death to America. The media could care less. Their hatred for Donald Trump is so intense. It's almost frightening.
Think about all these people that are obsessing on this fake news, literally lies, not one piece of evidence of anything done illegally by the Trump campaign or this administration, despite Hillary Clinton, her husband, the DNC, the Ukrainian government, totally complicit in all kinds of incredibly shady deals. But what do they want to talk about? They want to forget that the people who are criticizing us now were for the Iran deal, made the JCPOA possible, told Mitt Romney, do you remember during the debate, oh, Russia, really?
Yeah.
The 1980s want their foreign policy back. These people have no integrity, but we don't care, Judge, because we are keeping to the agenda that got Donald J. Trump elected. This isn't a distraction. People think that this is what we talk about in the West Wing. We couldn't care less. We are working, we're pushing forward, and we're making America great again.
Sebasttian, Gorka, it's always good to have you on Justice. Thanks for being with us tonight.
Thanks, Judge.
All right. And Colonel David Hunt is still ahead tonight with a closer look at the progress the administration is doing in taking down ISIS for once and for all. But next, liberal lawyer and Hillary Clinton supporter Alan Dershowitz is on deck with a take you may find surprising on this whole Russia business with the Trump White House. And then I invite you to join me for what was truly a spiritual experience for me, a sneak peek inside the Museum of the Bible in Washington, D.C. I put on my hard hat for a tour of this remarkable building, and you're coming too, so stay with us. So what are we seeing here?
150-foot long digital ceiling where we'll rotate biblical art and images throughout the entire day.